There's something that we are all very, very dear to. It's very important for every one of us, every creature on this earth. And without it, life isn't much, but with it, life is everything. And that is simple joy. What brings joy in life? It's a topic that is brought up all the time. We probably think about it hundreds of times each day without realizing it. Subconsciously, we're thinking, what brings joy to me next? Or that was joyful, what's going to be the next thing, And it's quite controversial because what brings joy to one person isn't necessarily what brings joy to another person either. So joy is a big topic, it's a big thing, and a lot of people become depressed because of the lack of it. Some people become addicts because they misunderstand where this joy can come from, and everything in between. Some people seem content to go from one type of joy to the next, to the next, to the next, throughout their life. But there's always that type of joy where people wish they could hang on to, the type of joy that doesn't fade away. So we try pills and we try Lexters and foods and all these different things, but only to find out that it's short-lived. Joy is something that can be experienced and it should be experienced to its full extent. And that's why I'm talking about it now. I'm not pretending that I've found the secret to joy and happiness, but in a way I've come pretty close. Because this inspiration, what inspires us in life is actually, for most people, are 100% joy. It is the joy in life that we have been seeking. And so when I ask people, they come to me and say, how can I take care of this depression or this anxiety or this fear or anger or whatever it might be, I'll ask them what inspires them. If they come up with something that is pretty good, a pretty good explanation of what inspires them, I'll then ask them the second question, and that is, do you feel that it helps other people besides just yourself? Is it in the service of others, and does it help others? And if this is the case, well, then we found something. And if not, then we better go out and find that thing that inspires us. Because with that idea, and not the idea, but with behind it, that service of others makes us unlimited. It makes our joy something that we can go out and find and do. It's our being and doing and having all wrapped up in one. It can be everything for us. Typically, we go out into the world and we find this joy and this happiness, and this is true with inspiration too, but we know that it's out there and we know it's there. It's through mindfulness that we can find what inspires us. And I ask you right now, what inspires you in life? And that's the thing that you should be doing. It would be pretty darn good, I think, And I think when you find happy people and successful people, these are the people that do what inspires them, but it's still in the service of other people. It helps other people. And this is a wonderful combination. Like I said, you become limitless in what you can do and what you can have and how you can express yourself in the world. So please find what inspires you and do it. That's the key thing for living an inspired, happy, joyful life. And doing, life is more of a doing than anything else, and do a life that's filled with inspiration. Now there's another way to find joy that is even, I guess you could say, deeper, because it has to do with a practice that we can do by ourselves. We don't go out into the world to find it like inspiration. We go within more. This is a proven method to be happy. It was talked about by a very enlightened person by the name of the Buddha. And I'm talking about what is called jhana meditation, or we could call it concentration meditation. It's a little bit different than vipassana or insight meditation in that we're not so concerned about our thoughts and our sensations and feelings and states, moods and emotions, these types of things. What we're concerned about is setting aside the past and the future, these thoughts that are related to the past and the future, and sitting in this state where there are, we could say, no thoughts. Now granted, that's hard to fathom, it's hard to imagine, but actually what is happening is that there's thoughts that we could say available. There are thoughts there, but they're not harming us in any way. We don't take them serious. We don't even see them as ours. So imagine if you're sitting in meditation, your eyes are closed, you're very comfortable, and there are no thoughts happening. This discursiveness of the mind absolutely stops. And what takes its place is this joy, this energetic joy, because it's not that we haven't had it, it's just that we haven't had any control over it. And that's what jhana is. It's a meditation practice where we have this almost ritualistic kind of behavior where we do the same thing again and again and again, leading up to this point of noticing these thoughts fall away. There's lots of ways to learn more about jhana, and that's what I do through the Meditation Learning Center. I teach people about meditation, particularly this practice. And if there's any way I can help you out with it, please let me know. But just imagine if you're sitting in a state of no thought. In different traditions, they call it no mind, such as in Zen. And what comes rushing in is happiness and joy. And then after a while, we take that joy and we can level it out, so to speak. We can let it simmer down, and we can sit with that absolute 100% joy for long periods of time, an hour or 2 hours, and we can do it anytime we want. That is the type of joy that the Buddha talked about and guaranteed that was ours. And he said that's the type of joy and happiness that we should be cultivating again and again and again. That was his primary meditation practice. But joy is something that can be absolutely real. We can take it out, we can grab it and experience it out into the world by finding what inspires us and doing what inspires us and making sure that it is in the service and benefit of all people out there, that we're helping people. It's a limitless supply of joy and happiness for us. It's like a feedback filter. We do it what inspires us, we help others, and we become more inspired and more joyful as we go along. And then of course the other way, jhana meditation, concentration meditation, where we can have that practice of going within the other type of joy. We set aside the thoughts. It takes some practice, but it can be done. It can be done by everyone. We find ourselves in this area where no thoughts are, and then what comes rushing in is happiness and joy, and it's 100% real. If there's any questions, you might write them down in the comment section below. Also, you can get a hold of me through the Meditation Learning Center. I'm more than happy to help anybody with their practice, and the reason I say that is because that's my inspiration, and I know it helps people. So by just doing this alone, I'm taking care of both types of joy for myself and for others. So if there's any way I can help you, please let me know. Thank you for listening, and keep practicing, keep meditating, and find what inspires you and do it. Thank you.